Hello everyone, I am Saimukul. I am a student of English Care. Today I am gonna talk about the Thai cave incident. In the year of 2015 in United States of America, a football coach and his players, and it consists of 13 players, were taking practice at a private session. And after the section, the coach went on to lead the 17-year-old boys, and the 13 boys were between the ages 11 to 16. And as he finished coaching that category of boys, he went on to coach another category of boys. As he left, and and he also suggested them to practice daily, and they were practicing after the coach had left. And after some time, the coach started practicing the 17-year-old boys, uh, and he also thought that he doesn't need any disturbances, so he switched off his phone. But here's the matter where the problem starts. And at that time, after he finished coaching the 17-year-old boys, there were so many missed calls on his phone, but he didn't know who did these missed calls. And after he switched on his phone back and saw that it was the phone call the from the category of 11 to 16 boys' mothers, and he called one by one of them also and asked them what was the issue. They told that their children had not returned home yet. He got so shocked because he told them to go away. He told them to go back to the homes, but it has been almost 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but still they haven't reached the home yet. And at that time there was also assistant coach to lead them, and he also called the assistant coach, and he asked what was the matter. And here's the problem starts. And they went to the Thai cave, which is also considered one of the fourth largest cave in the world. And as they went there, he didn't know what was happening there. And at that time, unfortunately, there was so much rain there. And as they went to Thai cave, it was not a normal cave. It was a cave which had many narrow elevations, many paths leading into one beach. But we cannot refer it to as beach. It is considered where the water will not get strained. And as they went there, the 13 boys and the assistant coach went there. And the coach also drove off his car and went to the Thai cave. And he also saw the 13 boys' bicycles were parked aside, and he gained some confidence because they must out here. But as the rain was so heavy at that time, the water started flowing into the cave, and he also screamed loudly that where are the boys and assistant coach, but nothing came inside from the cave. So he started to get little afraid, and he called the police. And within a few minutes, the police arrived at that time, and they started looking for the boys that screamed. But as the water went into the cave, when they were going and going inside, they couldn't even hear a single sound from the cave. And as the water reached to the chest level of the police, they they came back out of the cave, and they thought that we could not handle this problem. Only army men can handle this problem. And many army men came there, and as the army men came there, this issue spread over the Thailand at that time like a wildfire. And they also tried various ways to scream loud, and they also even did it with the speaker, but nothing came like that. But as they did it, even not a single voice came from that. And they started rescuing the mission, and they sent a group of two divers, and they went inside it, and they screamed and they loudly, and as they were all the chutes off and they went inside. But but, but unfortunately there wasn't no one there, so they came outside. And at that time, the coach friend John and Rick, they were good cave divers. They had almost 20 years of experience, so they went inside and they thought of calling anyone, but there was a single sound at that time. So they went back and told that it was an impossible mission, we cannot save the life of all boys. But at that time, the Thailand government was in a very big issue at that time. And John and Rick again went, put on the chute, and almost reached very far away. At this point of time, their one line mainly situation was to go near to the beach, because that was the point where any one single man can stay in the cave. And as they went inside, but for the shockness, there wasn't even a single member on the beach. So they lost all their hope that the 13 boys would have died. But when they came inside, they saw a little light coming from a far away. And and for sickness, it was the 13 boys and assistant coach there. And they saw it, and also spread this message to their higher officials. And after hearing this, they gained some confidence, and Thailand government also gained some confidence, and they started making any procedures. But it is not a easy and a simple task to go inside the cave and bring all the 13 boys. So I thought of a plan. And the first plan was to break the uppermost roof of the cave, which is not possible because it is made of hard rocks. And while destroying, if the rocks fall, it would be a great issue. The second plan was to save the boys after a long time. As it was raining, I mentioned earlier, after the rain got over, they would save the boys. But in between that, what if a major flood take place? So John and Rick came with a very great idea, that is, they should give them anesthesia, and they should make all the boys unconscious, and then they can pack up every one of them in a trolley, and they can easily get out of them. But the government wasn't very happy with this idea, but later thought that this was the only idea which they can execute at that time. So they went on to execute this plan at that time, and everything was successfully there. And they also made a small camp at the inside the cave, to give all the necessary equipments to all the boys. And before doing this, they also provided food and many shelters, water, everything, all the necessities to all the persons inside the cave. And after some time, they started executing the process. And they felt very happy when they successfully executed the first boy. They gave anesthesia to him, and they also gave two anesthesias to each one of them because they shouldn't wake up early, because they were ages between 11 to 16. And there was a small boy who was smaller height in size. So they also had another plan, to give three anesthesias to the boy and execute the plan correctly. But however, they executed the first plan. They couldn't execute correctly at that time. But however, they managed, and they saved all the life of the boys. But the sorrowing incident in this, two divers had lost their lives in this incident. One because his oxygen cylinder got finished and he died at the time, and another one after 1 year of after this process he died. And this is the way how Thailand saved the life of all the 13 boys. Thank you. Have a nice day.